Week 31. It is time for us to delve into it. We have so much to talk about and so little time in which to do it. It is the Cap, joined by what's left of Matthew Laws and Devin Laws.
This is all.
And
this is all.
My favorite neighbor to the north, Davey. We got fantasy football, we got NFL, we got MLB, we got fantasy booking to talk about. We got a shitload to cover in the next 2 hours.
And not only that, we also have AEW and WWE going head to head once again.
Yeah.
Oh, let's start with the news. The Falcons have acquired Van Jefferson from the Rams in a trade.
Okay. They're probably still not going to target him because Kyle hasn't been targeted more than 10 times this whole season.
The Falcons sent a 6th-round pick to the Rams for a 7th-round selection next year. Not too big of a deal there. Chargers Eckler says there is a 99% chance he plays on Monday Night Football this week, which is going to be good for Matty. He's been missing his Eckler.
I really
The big news, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, has been placed on IR. Will miss at least the next 4 games. And I am the schmuck who picked up KJ Osborne today to take advantage of said injury. Justin
Minnesota's
Jefferson.
offense is absolutely going in the shitter after that for the next 4 weeks.
Deontay Johnson says he will be ready to go after the bye week. I'm picking up a bad echo from somebody. I have no clue who it is.
Everybody got earbuds in? Headset?
Yeah.
Earbuds, sets of heads.
I do.
I have no idea where the echo's coming from.
Well,
I don't hear an echo.
Only when you're talking, though, Cap.
Well, let me check my settings, meow. Anywho,
but yeah, it's been an interesting week for like moves for IRs. Apparently, TJ Watt dislocated his finger badly and tore some ligaments in his hand, and still got another 2 sacks in that game.
Dolphins running back Devon Achane to miss time with a knee injury.
And there goes their running backs.
I'm telling you, injuries and bye weeks are starting to affect these fantasy whatchamacallits.
Yeah.
So that Jefferson injury will greatly probably impact whoever would have TJ Hawkinson on their fantasy team.
Well, we will get to that very soon, David. Cards placed running back Connor on injured reserve with a knee injury. A lot of injuries going on. That's mainly the big story in the NFL's.
Didn't the Lions running back tear his ACL?
No, it wasn't it was a cornerback from the Panthers during that game.
I thought the Lions had an injury that tore his ACL.
No, it was that cornerback that we all saw go down during that game. Apparently last season he had tore his left ACL, and this season he tore his right ACL. So
he's done.
I wouldn't say he's done, but it's going to be a long path to recovery and a very, very difficult road back to the league.
Looking at the baseballs, we have right now the Astros absolutely emasculating the Twins. It is 6-1.
Didn't they beat the Twins last night too?
Yes.
So if they win this game, they're up 2-0.
They are, yep.
Yes.
Okay.
We had one of the absolute greatest defensive plays in MLB postseason history last night with that double play the Braves turned on the Phillies.
I love good defensive baseball, and that was great defensive baseball.
That play is going to go down in the annals of MLB postseason history. The Dodgers are down 2-0 to Davy's pick, the Diamondbacks. Davy has been right on the D-backs all year. The Red Sox fire their pitching and third base coach.
Oh, now we're getting rid of our pitching coach.
It's a little bit late for that.
Oh well, let's share the story here. Red Sox fire third base coach and pitching coach amid rebuild. So the Red Sox are admitting they are in rebuild mode.
As well, they should be.
Oh yeah, we should have been in rebuild mode.
Yeah. They
since 2
do
years
not
ago.
have a team to contend in that division. If they were in the East, it would be a different story.
If they were in the Central, it would be a different story.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. If they were in the Central, they'd be in contention for the division. But in the East, there's no way. Like they're not competing with what Baltimore's doing. Definitely not Tampa. The Jays are kind of a mixed bag of what's going to be there.
So a lot of doings going on.
Now that we're finally at the postseason, though, who do you guys think's the World Series?
Orioles.
Braves. I think it's going to be Braves and Astros just because the Rangers are going to choke.
And Devin, who do you have going against the Orioles?
That I do not know. I have not decided who I think is going up against them, to be honest.
Davey?
Texas going up against the Diamondbacks.
Okay. And I've got Orioles versus Diamondbacks.
I can see that.
They'll
Everybody
put some
hopping on
butts
my
in the seats.
Diamondback train now. You love to see it.
Cap's like, that'll put butts in seats. Yeah, the Orioles haven't won a World Series. I can't remember when. And
1980s.
And I think I was 2 when the Diamondbacks won their last one.
Baltimore Orioles World Series. It was sometime in the 80s when
Ripken was playing, yeah.
Wasn't it 87?
83.
83.
And the D-backs, I'm pretty sure it was 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah, they basically won that on the arms of Schilling and Johnson.
Yeah,
they just kept
2001.
those two out there.
I was 3 years old when the Diamondbacks last won one, and Devin wasn't even born. The Orioles make sense, but the Diamondbacks, yeah, they've been pretty good.
D-backs have had a good year. I did not.
They had a little slide there towards the end. About 20 games left. They looked pretty rough, but then they got it back together.
Well, as Maddie appropriately titled this episode, "A Week 5 to Forget," let's get into the NFL scores. Thursday night we had the Bears beating the Commies 40-20. Any takeaways from this other than just the Bears were in desperation mode and had to do something? And DJ Moore's pretty good at catching footballs, Dev.
Let's say
hence your hashtag.
Yeah.
One takeaway from this is Khalil.
45 fantasy points.
I single-handedly got my ass systematically fucked by DJ Moore's hands.
And David,
I'm just glad he didn't have like Fields, Moore, and who was the other third one? It was Fields, Moore,
Claypool,
and Claypool that were in like almost 50 points.
That was literally Cap's hand, like the virtuosity of Cap's hand just going up there.
Yeah.
And
unpleasant.
Davey, what were you saying?
Khalil Herbert got hurt in that game too,
and he is going to miss some time.
He is, yeah. So
wasn't his a head injury?
No, it was a high ankle, I think.
Mm.
So that's going to impact how they kind of run their offense, right? Because they run a fair bit.
Oh, we didn't mention Daniel Jones did get injured with a neck injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Danny's neck is hurt?
Yeah, he has a neck injury. I think he's 2 to 3 weeks out.
So what you're meaning to tell me is
Giants are even more
The
fun.
Giants are going to be worse than they have been.
Oh, I was
Yep.
going to say that Danny's neck is made of dimes, like a stack of dimes.
So the Giants, who were not making the playoffs, will now really not make the playoffs.
Yeah, no. So let's continue down the list of games because we'll probably get to that here in a sec.
So we got the Jaguars and the Bills. Jags got the win. They were playing in London. Both teams are now 3-2.
Jacksonville owns London.
London.
I don't know what to make of this game from either team because both teams looked good. I think the Jags were just a little bit better on this day.
But like Cap likes to say with other teams, are we looking at Jags as better than what they actually are, or do they just get lucky because they're in London?
I say,
yeah. I mean, are they better than they look, or are they worse than they look?
No,
the Jags were already in London for 2 weeks at that point, so I think that they just had the advantage with Buffalo coming over on a, jet lag.
Yeah, the Bills actually did not arrive in London until something like 24 hours before the game, so there was significant jet lag going on there. I mean, I was happy because Stephon Diggs had a great game.
What were you saying, Davey?
The Jags are legit. Like, they're a legit team. Got a good young quarterback there. It's in his third year.
Most handsome man in football.
They got a high-end running back in Etienne. Like, he had 136 yards.
Calvin Ridley looked good.
They got a nice little receiving core there. Ridley, Kirk,
Flowers,
Ingram at tight end.
Zay Jones. Not Flowers, Jones.
Yeah, what he can stay on the field. But there's a lot there to work with.
Not to sneak ahead, Davey, but this week with you and I playing each other, it's going to be my quarterback, Herbie Hancock, versus your quarterback, the quarterback I wish I could have had. So it's going to be a quarterback duel. My quarterback has to play the fucking Cowboys, but they're injured to shit.
Yeah, I was about to say the quarterback isn't going to have to really worry about Dallas's defense. A couple players, but
that one game against the 49ers took them from the number 1 defense in the NFL to the number 5 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, and the Chargers will be up so much so early, like they'll just be running that ball anyway. Good for you.
Oh, I see where Davey's going with this one. On the precipice of my collision with one James Babay, Davey is throwing the shit talk.
I have a perfect beam for you for that, by the way.
Oh,
yes, I believe I put it in our Facebook chat earlier.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. Texans, Falcons.
CJ Stroud is looking better and better as the weeks go by, dude.
Desmond Ridder didn't look. I mean, the Falcons took it. The Falcons are 3-2.
Desmond Ridder is really relying on his legs because that arm ain't doing it for him, really.
Well, see, here's the weird thing is they have Kyle Pitts, who everyone pretty much agrees is a great tight end talent.
And they have Algier and Bijan, a two-headed fucking dragon at running back. Like I say with Green Bay, they've got Jones and Dillon.
And the Falcons' defense has looked pretty good overall this year.
They've been able to shut down good offensive teams like the Packers.
I don't know if I buy the Falcons at this point. I'm not saying that I couldn't later on, but at this point, I'm not buying either team. To be totally honest,
I'm buying Texas before I'm buying Atlanta.
What was that, Dave?
Yeah, I'm buying Houston before I'm buying Atlanta. Panthers Lions 42-24. The Lions decimated the Panthers in Detroit. Folks, the Lions are pretty goddamn good.
I've been saying that since off season, dude. Lions were my pick to go to the Super Bowl for the.
Is that why you sold the farm for Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I didn't sell the farm. I only sold 2 people. No, I only sold 1.
And he's now injured.
Tomato.
Yeah, he'll be fresh for the second half.
Davey, you know how to complicate the obvious and ignore the stupendous.
But they
Ignore
got
the stupendous.
But yeah, Detroit is a legit powerhouse all of a sudden.
They are 2.5 games ahead in the NFC North. We'll get to the Packers' just absolute debacle on Monday night.
It was one bad game, but yeah, no. That is nowhere at all indicative of how well the Packers have actually built that offense with the young core.
Well, I mean, we shall see. I mean, Tom Grossi has yet to have a stroke live on air, which may be coming.
And even Grossi went out and said, this isn't a great team. It's not a bad team, but it's not great.
I watched the video, and Grossi, you have to. Grossi is an honest homer. He will always cheer for his pack, but he will always be honest about their flaws, which is very commendable and one of the reasons we love Tom Grossi on this show.
Honest optimism.
Yeah. Versus Maddie's
hopeless,
petulant pessimism.
Yeah. I'm hopelessly hopeful.
Colts beat the Titans 23-16. That division is just a fucking shit show.
And didn't we get another Anthony Richardson injury?
Oh yeah, no.
We did.
And I think me or Devin
AC sprain.
Oh, it's an AC sprain? I could have sworn
that's what I heard.
Okay, because
he had basically what Derek Carr had a week ago.
Because the way he was holding his shoulder down, like Devin pointed out, that looked like maybe a separation, or I pointed out that it could have been a broken collarbone with how hard he came down on that shoulder. So,
bottom line, AR has to start protecting himself.
Oh yeah,
he's not listening to any of the information people are trying to give him.
And he's got a fantastic arm.
This is what, the third injury this season?
Yeah,
third. We've had a concussion. We've had a knee or an ankle, and now this shoulder thing.
And this is his rookie season. Season.
It's almost the Tua Tagovailoa issue.
Yeah.
I was going to go one better. Like
go ahead.
With the amount of talent Richardson has, and the way he's getting injured at this kind of clip, he could very easily be another RG3.
I like that comparison too.
Well, considering it was Mike Shanahan, former Denver Broncos head coach, who pretty much ran RG3 into the ground in Washington.
Got us 2 Super Bowls. Fuck you.
Terrell Davis got you 2 Super Bowls.
Yes, he did.
Fuck you.
Yes, it was.
Let's see what Dolphins beat the Giants 31-16. It probably should have been more, but a Shane got hurt. Tua threw for 300 yards, 2 tutties, but 2 picks. Tyreek Hill, 8 catches, 181 yards. Is Tyreek going to crack $2,000 this year?
He fucking better.
Tyreek might pop $2,000. And what do you guys think? Tua MVP potentially?
That's going to Purdy or someone in the 49ers.
I can see that too.
It's going to depend on how far he takes them.
If he doesn't make the playoffs, no. But
yeah, if they don't win that division, no, you're not getting it.
No, they've got it for Tua to win it. They've got to win that division, and I think they pretty much have to get to the Super Bowl for him to get MVP.
Well, the MVP
because we know the way the NFL is right now, the MVP goes to the quarterback of a Super Bowl team.
Exactly, but the award is given before the postseason.
Well, it comes 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
Oh, it does?
It comes after the conference title games is when MVP is announced.
Okay.
So it's going to go to one of the quarterbacks in one of the Super Bowl teams involved, unless you just have some kind of Lawrence Taylor level, shipwreck performance. Not that the Giants have anybody that good. Sorry, 5 points.
I love that one of the only things that they threw up like as a advertisement or supporting the Giants during that game was the fact that Darren Waller is like 3rd on tight end receiving yards for the Giants.
Well, it show as shit ain't doing shit.
No, I was about to say, because once again, they ain't got no quarterback.
Well, speaking of show as shit ain't doing shit, the next game on our list, Davey, the Patriots, 34 to nothing.
Devin, I got fucked because I took their defense, he says.
I'm going to leave the floor to Davey here. Please explain to our audience what the fuck is going on in Boston. This was atrocious.
We are every bit the 1-4 record, and even that.
As Bill Parcells, you said you are your record.
Yeah, and even the 1-4 is a bit of an overshoot with the way this team is playing. Like, this is horrendous. Jones has been taken out twice in 5 games. And this is the guy that's supposed to be your starting quarterback. 12 of 22 for 110 yards and 2 INTs. Against the Saints. Like, the Saints are not a powerhouse team. Like,
they're a good team, but not a powerhouse team.
No, they're a mid-pack team that, could be beaten on any week, right?
Yeah.
That was embarrassing.
Is this Bill Belichick's last season?
Well, that's what I was. Who needs to be owning this? Is it McAdoodle? Is it the OC, or is it Bill?
It's higher than Bill. Whoever is making the decision to go with what they have there has to take ownership of that. As for Bill, greatest coach in the NFL history. It would be hard to debate that, which I think we did.
In history, yes, but right now
But right now, he is not the guy for what they need in New England, which is a complete tear down, rebuild, come at it again. Right? But staying this course is not going to work.
Let's play a hypothetical here, Davey, because I am one of the biggest Bill Belichick marks on the planet. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I'm a Bill Belichick mark. How much longer does this continue with Belichick at the helm as head coach, GM?
This year.
Bill O'Brien as
this year. At the end of this season.
Let's throw one caveat out there. Let's just throw this out there before you finish that. Let's say the Patriots are this bad and they somehow get Caleb Williams. Does that save Bill and company for another season or two?
No, and it shouldn't. Because you'd have a rookie quarterback, ton of talent, ton of upside. What do you have around him?
Not a whole hell of a lot.
Juju Smith-Schuster?
Jacoby Myers?
Kendrick
He's
Bourne?
in Oakland. Or Vegas, pardon me.
No.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I thought he went.
Jacoby Myers is in Vegas.
Kendrick Bourne is a top target. Like that.
Hunter Henry, although Hunter Henry laid a goose egg this week. Hunter Henry's a good tight end. Not a great tight end, but a good tight end.
He's got good hands.
He's serviceable and would fit on most teams. Right?
You've got Ramondre, who still has a lot left in the tank.
Right. There's not enough there, especially with a rookie quarterback, to say, okay, we're going to make another run.
Well, not only that.
Not another run, but if they get Caleb, I'm saying, okay, let's say the Patriots finish
but they need to build that
with 3-4 wins. Let's say, doomsday scenario. Patriots finish 3 or 4 wins, wind up with the top draft pick, get Caleb. Yeah. We know Belichick's not getting fired, but if he gets Caleb, does that buy him another 2 to 3 years?
Well, Bill is in his late 70s. So,
yes.
No disrespect to Bill, and you're right. You can't fire him. The guy's a legend there. So you can't fire him. So if he's going, it has to be either 2 options. It has to be his decision or a mutual decision. That's the only way he's leaving. They can't say, Bill, you're gone. That will not go over well in any.
I don't see. He's not going to get fired. And knowing Bill's competitive spirit, I don't think he resigns unless what would be the phrase? I was watching a documentary series on Mississippi burning this weekend. Unless somehow, unbeknownst to us, one of his guardian angels whispers something to his ear that tells him, "Hey, now's the time to hang him up." It's up in the air.
We know one thing he's not doing, which would be the broadcast booth.
Oh God, no.
Oh my God, no.
He would be the most. Well, no, okay. Broadcast booth, he would be horrible. But if he was given a segment on one of the pregame shows or some kind of something like that, where he was said, "Okay, Bill, your job this week is to break down on your ticker this particular matchup," he could do that. But as far as an entertaining broadcaster, no.
Oh, we don't need him to be entertaining. Put him in the booth with Tony Romo.
Oh, Christ.
Podcasts with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
No, the reason.
No, they would never sit in the same room with each other again.
Deflating the game is what it would be called.
Oh, good Christ, Dev.
Deflating the business. Oh, Devin, that is brilliant. Oh, you beautiful, brilliant child.
Yeah, but get someone in there, right, and give them.
I broke Cap.
This team is yours for the next 3-4 years. Implement your system.
You fractured Cap. You didn't break Cap. There's a difference.
I'll take that.
Speaking of Dev,
I just want to put this out there. Just think about
all
this.
right.
Dallas against New England. Tony Romo, Belichick in the booth. Dak Prescott throws a 20-yard pass, completion. Tony Romo goes, "There it is. There's that Dallas offense that we've been looking for." And then you just hear Belichick go, "On to the next play."
Sounds about right. Dev, it's your turn to cry. What happened? You guys went to Pittsburgh and
I told
just
you.
You got a foot put in your ass, and the score doesn't indicate how bad Baltimore was this day. So I will let Dev have the floor on this one. Go ahead, Mr. Dev. Explain, yo Raven shitbirds.
So, as people tuned in, I had some 151. They were as bad as I was.
I think the Ravens did too, the way they played.
Oh, exactly. I'm going to say this. I don't remember the game, so it didn't happen. On to the next. But no, yeah, I saw the highlights, and we did absolutely terrible. There were so many plays that we shouldn't have made and switched up, and we just didn't.
Set the record this season for dropped passes.
Yeah.
That's
Your guys couldn't catch a cold.
And
they couldn't catch COVID in China.
Antonio Brown decided to open his fucking mouth on Twitter.
Yes, I did. I saw that. And maybe
the Ravens need AB. AB doesn't need the Ravens. Why open your fucking mouth if you want a job?
Why open your mouth if you want a job?
I mean, obviously, life is more entertaining with Antonio Brown around, but Antonio Brown as a wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens.
No. This would be on the same team with Odell Beckham Jr. You want Antonio Brown and OBJ on the same team?
Holy fuck.
That's going to be like putting Punk and fucking Rollins in the same room, or Punk and Omega in the same room backstage, no matter what promotion it is.
Fuck it.
Or closer to home comparison, myself and the captain's opponent in a week or two.
Yes.
In the same room. That would likely go as well.
Eagles and Rams.
Did
this was an odd one.
Did we really expect anything less from this, especially since y'all, before the week started, I think all y'all went for the Rams, yes?
Yeah, we thought this was going to be Eagles defeat.
Yeah, but
I went Rams on this one, but the Rams looked off, and they had cut back, but I think I think the Rams looked off because they had cut back, because they had been in such a rhythm with Puka and Tutu and everything. And then you reintroduce Cup into that equation, it throws the mathematics off, and they're like, okay, how do we do this now?
Well, Cup got 8 receptions for 118. Nuka got 7 receptions for 71. So they were splitting it up with those two. Tutu, not so much. 2 receptions for 9 yards and a touchdown.
Hurts also carried the ball 15 times for 72 yards. He was the leading passer and leading rusher for his team.
Yep. Swift had 70, so he was 2 yards behind on 2 extra attempts.
I still think the Eagles are, how do I put, the 49ers are the class of the NFC, but the Eagles are the only team in that conference who on a given day could possibly beat San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's actually take a look here. Do those teams play each other this year?
I don't think. No.
I think they're like the Baltimore and Denver. They don't play each other this year.
Let me see. I'm going to pull up a schedule here just to take a quick gander here. They do play Sunday, December 3rd. The 49ers travel to Philadelphia.
And that's week what?
That's week 13, Sunday, December 3rd.
Okay. So let's do a little predetermination. What is going to be the 49ers?
We're heading into week 6. That is week 13. That is a long way off.
But who do we see leading into that game is going to be better? Are we going to have the 49ers being the winning team or the Eagles being the winning team?
Provided neither team suffers any serious injuries, I'm taking San Fran.
I'm taking San Fran as well.
They are the class of the NFL at this point.
Looking at their schedule too, like the Eagles have a little bit more of a difficult schedule leading into it. The Niners, I think they have Detroit once before the game against the Eagles. That is the only team I could possibly see beating San Francisco is Philly and Detroit.
Let's take a look at San Fran's schedule coming up. Let me pull this back up here. All right, so they are at Cleveland.
That's a win for San Fran.
At Minnesota, Monday Night Football.
Win.
It'd be crazy if Minnesota won.
Host Cincinnati.
If Burrow is doing Burrow things, it'd be a close game, but I still see 49ers coming out on top.
Then they got their bye, week 9.
Okay.
Week 10 at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's losing.
Be a weird game too.
Host Tampa Bay. Then week 12 at Seattle.
Okay, yeah, no, they legit have maybe 1 or 2 games that they could lose before they play Philadelphia.
Week 13 at Philly. Week 14 host Seattle. Week 15 at Arizona. 16 host Baltimore, Monday Night Football. At the Commies, and then the last week of the year they host the Rams.
Okay, so they don't even play Detroit. Damn. So yeah,
not in the regular season anyway.
San Francisco could easily finish the season with at least 1 or 2 losses.
Cap is going to drop some ballast, and I am going to let you gentlemen take over this next one. Bengals and Cardinals. What the fuck is going on with both of these teams? Because you want to throw out question marks. I don't know who either of these teams are.
All I know is Josh Dobbs is a dog. Bengals Cardinals game. Let me pull up the score real quick. Yeah, it was 34-20.
Yeah, Dobbs showed more of in this game what everybody thought Dobbs might have been.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, not even middle of the pack.
Yeah, he was under 500 throwing the ball.
And then you look at Burrow, and he was doing, as Devin said, Burrow things. He was 36 for 46, 317, 3 tutties, and an interception.
Yeah. So I think whatever the bugaboo was with Jeff, seems to have corrected itself. Because
You mean Joe?
Joe, yeah. You don't put up 317 yards and a completion percentage like that if you're limping around.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes did it during the fucking playoffs to the Bengals.
And won a Super Bowl with still being told that he was hurt and he had that dog in his foot.
I fucking hate that, man.
I remember that meme. Like it was yesterday.
Jamar Chase also had a game that day too.
192 yards on 15 catches.
And the thing I love to see was the reason why the Bengals won that game was because Burrow remembered he had Jamar Chase.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
It was all 3 of his touchdowns.
Well, I don't necessarily think he remembered. I think he was actually able to connect with him.
And then there's Jamar saying, "I'm open. I'm always fucking open." Does him actually being targeted help his ego?
Wide receivers are egotistical guys. And it's
corners.
Jamar Chase is a phenomenal wide receiver, and there's no counter to that. The issue up to this point in the year, I think, has been just Joe Burrow not being physically 100% and not able. Okay, anyone who's ever had a calf injury, what does a quarterback do? He stands. He has to move his feet around, and when you don't have that, when you don't have both of your legs functioning properly, it's tough for your arm to deliver that ball. A quarterback's arms are connected to his legs. Hall of Fame coach Bill Walsh, he always said the most important thing about a quarterback is their footwork. If they don't have great footwork, they're not going to be able to deliver the ball properly. And especially in a West Coast offense like what Zach Taylor runs, that he learned from McVay, that has trickled down from Bill Walsh, that West Coast offense is all about quarterback footwork and being just nimble and right in the spot. If you don't have that in that offense, you're gonna look horrible. I saw Davey nodding. Davey's agreeing with me on something. But yeah, until Burrow is 100% on his feet, that offense is going to struggle.
With the scheduling what they have, is Burrow ever going to be 100% complete this season?
Let's look at the Bengals schedule here, just for giggles and shits. Let's see here. NFL, Cincinnati Bengals. Schedule. This week they host the Seahawks. Then they've got a bye week, which will help big time. But then they travel to San Francisco, host Buffalo, host Houston, go to Baltimore, host Pittsburgh, and then at Jacksonville on Monday Night Football. And they still have to play Pittsburgh and Kansas City and Cleveland again.
That Seahawks one is going to be a big eye popper with Bobby Wagner possibly putting in the hurt.
The Bengals schedule is not by any means advantageous. But
is it too early to say they're done?
No, way too early. Kid, last year they started 1-4 and still made it to the end.
I thought they were doing really good last year.
Last year was the year that they went 1-4 and made the fucking AFC Championship.
Oh, I thought that was the year before.
No, way too early, kid. Way too early.
The Bengals, and they did it kind of similar the year before when they made the Super Bowl. Like, the Bengals have had a weird habit of the last few years sucking at the start and catching on fire for the entire last of the season.
Yeah, I think the Bengals at 2-3 with the team the way it currently is, and with Burrow looking like he's past whatever he was the first few games, I don't think that 2-3 record is as bad as it's going to be. I think they've turned that corner, and they're back to being the odds-on favorite to win that division.
And if Burrow is healthy now, because he
Yeah.
played very healthily.
Yeah, because it ain't Pittsburgh, and it ain't Cleveland, and Baltimore. I just don't trust Baltimore the way that team is.
I'm not trusting them.
I don't trust Baltimore as much as I don't trust Denver, because we're both sitting in the IR the exact same time.
Yeah, we're like, it's the same reoccurring people that keep going to the nurse's office. Hi, what are you in for? Headache. Same.
Yep.
So before we get to the
delinquents,
before we get to the next game, I have to queue up something, and I tracked this down just for Matthew.
Oh no!
Yeah. I love these.
Deep dark depression, excessive misery. If it was bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep dark depression, excessive misery. If it was bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
So let's get to the Broncos. The Broncos.
Before that.
I broke Maddie.
Cap, you know how I said I fractured you? You absolutely shattered him.
I tracked that down because I knew without a shadow of a doubt that would put the kibosh.
What are you popping back, Matt?
Hi, I'm Matty Laws. Have you been hurt by your team? Well, I am the founder of the Wounded Broncos Fan Foundation, the WBFF. And let me tell you, in the words of our friend Urinating Tree, the ride never ends.
Have you been hurt by your team? I'm a Patriots fan. We lost 34-0.
The Broncos dropped.
You're the loved one ever been.
David.
The Broncos dropped.
David.
Maddie.
The
70.
Dolphins scored 70 fucking points on us 2 fucking weeks ago.
Yeah, but
we
a
beat
loss
the Bears
is a loss, Maddie. The score doesn't really matter.
Okay, now that you say that, we lost to the fucking MILF Hunter.
The Broncos
He was
dropped.
with that MILF money.
I need to have that hog, gloom, despair, and agony queued up ready for Maddie, the same way Davey has Kenny Omega stuff queued up for me. 31-21, the Jets go into Denver and defeat the Broncos, absolutely making them look like bitches. The Jets recovered more fumbles than they scored touchdowns.
The Jets in this game, they played incredibly smart. They ran and ran and ran.
And they won.
And then ran some more.
They kept the ball out of Zach Wilson's hands and they won the game.
Exactly.
The Broncos kept putting the ball in Russell Wilson's hands and kept losing the game.
I do got to say, on the bright side for Matt, though, Patrick Surtain did have a really good interception.
He
Pat
attempted
Surtain,
26 passes for 109.
That was a hand job at the end of prom night, Dev. that was essentially doing what you would have done yourself, but with someone else's hand, and still not coming away with much.
Oh, I love that phrase, Cap. That was like a hand job after prom. Holy fuck!
This season, I watched every Broncos game last season, every single one of them. And I can honestly tell you, I am hurting more this season than watching all 10 of Brandon Perna's the new exponent to 10 worst game he's ever seen. I'm getting ready to start doing my own fucking series, and I'm just gonna start running down all 53 players on the Broncos roster. Guys, we lost to Nate Dogg Hackett. Nathaniel fucking Hackett. Our ex.
Who was voted a team captain?
So, in this season, we have lost to a former head coach, a former
A former ball boy.
And if it wasn't for you guys giving the ball boy job, you guys would have had the worst loss.
An agony on me.
Guys, looking at this Broncos team, going into the season, we had one of the more stacked defenses. And not just like last week before the game, we chose to release a defensive edge rusher
who you paid $70 million
for
to.
5 years. For 5 years, he played 4 games before getting released for the fucking reason of we want to focus on our younger players. Why the fuck did we spend that money to get Randall Gregory if we're not going to fucking use Randall Gregory?
You guys gave him that money to leave, essentially.
No, we gave him that money to leave Dallas, and now he's just sitting pretty on some guaranteed fucking millions. This team is Cap. You are a White Sox fan, and I'm feeling what you feel with the White Sox right now. Absolute and utter fucking pain and agony.
At least you don't have to watch that many games that the White Sox play. Imagine Denver having 100+ games.
Devin,
I either watch or listen to just about every White. I miss a game here and there, but trust me, I live this pain.
Devin, there's a chance that Davey and Remy have probably been talking about this. There's a chance this Thursday's crew day is going to be revolved around Maddie watching the fucking Broncos Chiefs game. Meaning I will have to watch the Bronco game, regardless if I want to or not, because I'm here.
Well, now there's some hope. There's some hope here, Maddie. Let's look at this.
The last time we beat the Chiefs was in 2014 on a Thursday.
No. I got even more hope for you.
No, we lost Davey.
We did. He should be back in anytime soon.
While the Broncos are 1-4 and are 0-3 at home, Russell Wilson last year, his 2 best games came against Kansas City last year.
And one of them he got concussed before he could beat the Chiefs.
But coming off of this wrecking from the MILF man, they have a quick turnaround and Thursday night have to go into Kansas City to play the Chiefs, who are a pretty good team when it comes to football. It is very likely that the Broncos are going to be 1-5. Their one win this year did come on the road. Let's not forget that they are road dogs so far this year.
Bro, I think Denver should still be winless.
Let's take a look here. Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs line.
Oh, no, I can guarantee you it's not good.
The Chiefs are favored by 10.5.
You want to know something? I might take that negative spread because something tells me this is
because you're a degenerate gambling son of a bitch.
No. Regardless, and we've
Please don't spend a lot of money.
No, regardless, and we've played.
Oh God!
Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce and four all these grocery baggers at wide receiver, and then they don't really have a running team. This might I say might be the one game that we have a weirdly close game.
The hopeless optimism, as Matthew often states. Let's take a look at the Broncos' remaining schedule, shall we?
You know, it'd be funnier the money line for Taylor Swift showing up.
Oh, the Swifties are going to be out in force for this one. So you have Kansas City on Thursday night. Then you have Green Bay next Sunday. Then you host Kansas City again.
Oh yeah, no,
Sunday after.
We play KC in quick succession, and I don't like that.
Then you get a bye week. Okay, you get a bye week. You know, all is okay. You get a bye week to kind of lick your wounds. Then it's Monday Night Football at the Bills.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
Why do we have so many primetime games?
Then it's prime time the next week against the Vikings. You host the Vikings, then you host the Browns, you travel to Houston, you travel to the Chargers, you travel to Detroit, host New England, host the Chargers, at the Raiders. That is the rest of your year, Matthew.
That Detroit game is going to be a rough one to watch, but I can honestly say this. Who the fuck wants to see Russell Wilson versus Kirk Cousins on primetime?
I do. I want to see you guys lose.
I hate
Minnesota Viking fans.
Well, speaking of the Vikings, they're next up on our list with the Chiefs. The Chiefs barely beat the Vikings 27-20. Dave and I were pretty well invested on this game. But yeah, the Broncos go to Kansas City this Thursday. The Chiefs still didn't look – they looked better, but they still didn't look chiefy. They weren't very oozy. They weren't very chiefy.
They were not oozy.
They were not oozy.
They weren't even Coducy.
Coducy.
I felt Jey Uso Sunday night with how lit we both were.
I think we both felt Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Hold on. To cut off football talk for a second. Have you guys like Davey and Cap? Have you had a chance to see the presser from Fastlane? Because
I watched all of it. I watched all of the Cody Jay.
My fiance, Alora, was absolutely dying watching Jey Uso just struggle with the straps. But the part that got her was when Uso was going, do you feel me? Do you feel me?
Yeah.
Cody goes, do you feel him, sir?
In the wake of, there have been two great disasters in my roughly adult life. When I was a kid, it was Ruby Ridge and Waco in Oklahoma City. As an adult, I've had 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina. In the wake of both of those events, there were a lot of, what do they call them? Telethons, raise money.
Oh, Lord.
What have you. I got this weird telethon-y sense from the Cody and Jay presser of just a really bad tandem doing a telethon on Jerry Lewis's Labor Day at about 2:00 in the morning.
So, full disclosure, Jay and I did have a couple libations before coming on the bus before coming out here. The fact that Cody Rhodes, even drunk, is so professional is the most Cody Rhodes thing I can fucking think of.
It is. I mean, I mean, Dusty was known to enjoy himself to a degree and still perform very. There's Davey can back me up on this. There is a big difference between indulging, but also being able to be in full control of yourself versus indulging and not being able to control yourself. There's a very big difference.
There is, yes. I used to call it, I've reached the happy spot. I'm not sober.
As I call it, the saturation point.
Right. I'm not sober. I know
I'm
that.
not drunk.
But I'm not completely drunk yet.
Well, that
It's like Leahy from Trailer Park Boys when he was doing the breathalyzer.
Yeah. Like
I'm just sober enough to know what I'm doing and just drunk enough to enjoy it.
Have fun while doing it.
I'm fully functional right now, and I'm happy about it. Really happy about it.
I am on my.
However, it's that fine line you're walking. It doesn't take much to.
I am on my 9th 16-ounce beer since 2:00 this afternoon, and I am still quite functional.
Yeah, mind you, that's an American beer.
I was about to say,
that's like
yes,
up here.
He does have a point.
Very true. Yeah. But the fact that with even that much alcohol in my system on basically no food, I am still able to do what I'm doing here.
Oh, but you know what? While we're talking about alcohol, yeah, no, me and Devin brought it up a little bit earlier, but we should probably apologize because we were not good for that stream.
We were not in good headspaces, and 151 Rum was our friend for a little bit, and then stabbed us in the back.
Yeah, that
stabbed you in the back. It kicked you right in the fucking balls, and you didn't
hit me straight in the chin.
No, this led to one of those moments that me and Dee talk about where we get into like a full-fledged screaming match.
For no reason. I don't even remember the argument that started it.
And by the time the end of the night came around, me and Dee were
sounds like Thanksgiving with my mother-in-law. We just wind up in a screaming match, and we're barely into dessert, and we're already screaming at each other, and we don't even know why. She probably down to fifth of Chardonnay.
I remember us getting our pizza. I remember us walking a dog, and then after that, all hell broke loose.
You guys disappeared after the pizza.
Face. Apparently, I ate shit taking this dog out and fucking scratched the shit out of my. Matt, did I hit concrete? Because I had a headache for like 2 days.
No, you didn't. You didn't hit the pavement, but you did go straight face first into your fucking yard.
I believe it.
Gentlemen, this is why you do not put 151 proof alcohol on empty stomachs.
Yeah. We didn't
take it from a vet. You do not do that.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we did.
It's like I said to the captain. When you get a bottle like that,
it doesn't come with training wheels.
If you're not as tenured as I was, or maybe the captain is.
Oh, Cap is tenured. I've been guzzling since I was 16. Trust me.
There should be instructions that come with that bottle. Like, make sure you do these things, and for fuck's sake, don't do these.
Oh yeah,
yes.
No, without a doubt, and I think me and Devin can both agree on this. When it comes to Sunday streams, I think we're just gonna go with beer. Yeah.
Like no, we can do that.
I can't even say that because even before the stream started, John, I was getting things set up. We still had some whiskey left over from the night before. And John and I took 2 shots before I even started the stream, but I was drinking, I was pacing myself with beer. Then I had a really nice lunch. And I was coherent through the whole thing.
You see, me and Devin, you had a very good key word there. And that key word was pacing.
Yes.
Me and Devin decided to treat this like a sprint and not a marathon.
Yeah.
Sunday Red Zones are an Ironman match, not a 5-minute TLC.
Speaking of Ironman, I feel like I can take that mantle as RAWBall's Ironman, seeing as I put in 70 hours of my day job and streaming over last week. You did. There was 54 hours of work, and there was 16 hours of streaming throughout the week. So your boy is now.
I will never deny the road dog that is Matthew Laws. All we are saying is that Sunday red zone, maybe lay off the Uno 5 Uno and hang more on the high life.
without a shadow of a doubt, and I think Devin can agree with me on this. We are not indulging in 151 if we are going to be on screen.
Oh, 100%. I've done whiskey, vodka, but for some reason that 151 just did something
don't do 100%. That's too much. You've gone the wrong direction.
At least it wasn't me.
Davey, you don't know who you're talking to.
100%. 100%. It was just my mental space.
No,
I did not really give. Both. Yeah, but I'm just saying on my side, it was definitely my mental space. I was not in a good place, and like Maddie said, we treated it like it was a fucking sprint and not a marathon.
If you guys know this about myself, Davey does not touch the substances. You notice Cap every Sunday somewhere roughly around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I just start with the bottled water because I've kind of hit my comfy zone, and I'm just chilling.
I always have this around because it's part of my.
You didn't have nobody had that Sunday. Once you hit your comfy zone, it's time to start.
Speaking of time to start, happy Murder Grandpa Day. He has entered the ring.
Ooh, Murder Grandpa.
The Sunday night game, Cowboys 49ers. The Cowboys lost this game, and they're talking shit saying they're as good or better than San Francisco. The hubris coming from Dallas right now sickens me to my fucking core. Fuck the Dallas Cowboys.
Dak Prescott, before the season started. No, before the season started, went out and told the Dallas media, I will not throw more than 10 interceptions this season. It's a little hard to do that when you throw 3 interceptions in week 5, Dak.
Did you see the bet Stephen A. Smith had with what's his name on his ESPN crew? He won $1,000 because he said that Dak was going to throw more than 2 interceptions.
Dak is
100%. And the fucking
here's the Cowboys fans. Honestly, I hate the Cowboys more than I love life. I do like Dak Prescott, and I've always been a Dak Prescott fan. Because just the life he had growing up, a 4th-round pick. I mean, I love guys like that. I really like Dak Prescott. I just wish I've always said this. I love Dak. I like Dak Prescott. I would love him if he played for a different team. But unfortunately, he doesn't. So we have to contend with Dak being a Cowboy. But my God, man.
Dude, they were the San Francisco fans were chanting, "We want Trey. We want Trey." They were wanting Trey Lance out there, and instead of that, they put in Cooper Kush. I know that's not his last name, but they put in Cooper Rush out there instead of Trey Lance. And to be honest, I think Trey Lance would have done better than Cooper Rush.
There's actually a story on ESPN right now. Let me bring this up and I'll share it. It's towards the bottom of the where is it here?
Yeah, feel free to throw it up on screen, Cap.
But yes, no more 151 without any other help.
No.
Or just in general. I could go without 151 during a stream.
That first shot I took, and I even said it on air, I was like, that shit burnt. That shit stayed right there. And
I was fun until what, second or third?
Well, it looks like they've actually told the story, but essentially the story was Jerry Jones that still believe they are Super Bowl bound.
With tickets, yeah, absolutely.
Jerry Jones is flying them all first class out to the Super Bowl.
Trust me, Jerry Jones is a native Arkansan. I live with these scum buckets. Arkansas, by the way, lost to Ole Miss 27-21. Arkansas this year is 2-4. They have not won a single game against a team a winning record.
If Jerry Jones woke up one day and the only thing that he was delusional, it would be a huge improvement from his regular state. Like
Davey is no Cap. You say this all the time, David. You're not wrong.
I'm just kind of ignorant in how I say it.
Oh, carve it on my tombstone, baby. You're not wrong.
Hey, Cap. I can guarantee you, I will have that etched on your tombstone, Davey. You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. These two are beating.
That's Cap's last words.
Shit out of each other.
Monday Night Football, Raiders, Packers.
We'll leave the floor to you, my captain.
Yeah. All I want to say is congratulations.
You guys beat the Packers by the fucking hair on your testicles.
Cap?
We won a game that we had no business winning. We lost that game. Jordan Love very poorly through 3 picks. They're missing Bakhtiari on the O-line. As I posted on Twitter, the fact that this team is 2-3 blows my mind because we should be 0-5. But at this point, I hope we just don't kill the tank, boys. Caleb Williams is right there. He's just a few miles south.
Cap.
Let's keep the tank rolling and get Caleb.
Cap, we don't have a first-round pick, and we've got a better chance of getting Caleb Williams than you do.
Yeah. Look, you reside in the same league as the
Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown 7 interceptions in 5 games.
You're in the same league as us. You have no chance of getting that first-round pick. 0.
Yeah, I was about to say all 4 of us. None of the 4 of us.
That's honestly, baby, you're not wrong. That's my fear is that we're so horrible we can't get the first round because we're just good enough to pick 10th, 9th, something like that.
They're not good enough to make the playoffs, and they're not dumb enough to know that they should get the first pick. So they're in like the bizarro world of that happy zone that we just spoke of.
Yeah,
right.
We are in the twilight zone.
Yeah,
as Roberling would say.
Wait, no.
Dazed and also confused.
Hold on, Davey. Since Cap
dazed but not so confused.
Cap,
you have been listening to Led Zeppelin today.
Cap, you brought up the Twilight Zone. I know this is
my favorite, the greatest TV show of all time. My favorite TV show, the original, the 1959 to 1964.
I was about to say because me and my lady, we literally just found the other day the 2000s version of the Twilight Zone with Forrest Whitaker as the fucking narrator. And let me tell you, that shit was interesting. I've never seen.
It's not bad, but the original 5 seasons from 59 to 64. Especially the first 3 seasons, it can't be. No other TV show will ever touch that.
You haven't lived until you've seen George Costanza play Death.
I thought you were gonna say Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre.
Oh, no. All 9 seasons of Seinfeld, and trust me, I have seen George Costanza play Death on many occasions, mostly for himself.
And Devin, no, that statement is false. You haven't masturbated until you've watched Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. You have not.
Have you seen that yet, Cap?
You have not truly climaxed until you've seen that match.
I haven't watched it. I was listening to Maddie masturbate during the crew day.
Oh, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me masturbate because I muted myself. I was over in the corner whacking it the entire time.
Imagine how the fuck I felt. The couch was shaking the entire match.
Smacking it, smackity, smack. Whacking it for the Lord.
Matt sounded like he was beating a sock filled with lukewarm butter and against a drywall.
Mother God.
Sopping wet. But no, straight up. Hold on. I've got a bone to pick with Uncle Dave. Not you, Davey, but Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer? Oh, my arch enemy. Please pick bones with Dave Meltzer.
So, Dave Meltzer, you absolute fucking coward. You rated this match 5.5 stars when you had the balls to break your own scale and give Omega Okada 2 a 7-star rating. Suck my left testicle. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. is the single.
That's his low hanger, by the way.
Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. is the single greatest professional wrestling match that's ever been produced in any promotion. You know what? I can guarantee you, if that fucking match was in the Tokyo Dome, Dave Meltzer would have given that shit 10 out of 5 stars. But this coward, because it was in Seattle, it wasn't in the Dome. You coward.
Maddie, we're not so different, you and I.
Dave Meltzer, I will genuinely headbutt you over your Bryan Danielson Zack Sabre Jr. rating.
Now, as voted on by, because Dave's ratings are listed on here too.
What was Cage Match's rating on that? And if it's not 10 out of 10, I've got to smack the entire IWC, bro.
Well, the number one rated match all time is not a 10. Every person that would vote would have to do that.
Well, that's a damn shame, because apparently people don't know professional wrestling.
The Danielson Sabre match all time right now is sitting at 37th. Now, before Maddie's head explodes here, the difference between 37 and basically the top 10 is like 0.10. That's how
I could give a flying fuck.
That's how close they are.
So what you mean to tell me is I need to make a bunch of burner accounts and just give it 10 out of 10.
Good, yeah.
This is like a fucking those Colgate commercials. 9 out of 10 doctor or dentists approve.
Like David Ortiz stepping up to bat. You're about to see 200 different versions of Matty Laws on Cage Match.
Yeah. The highest rated one ever, Kenta Kobashi and Misawa.
Okay, no. To be fair, that is the second greatest wrestling match I've ever seen.
That's sitting at a 9.81.
So what you mean to tell me is
Danielson Sabre was a 9.62. So I mean, they're within hair.
Those are rookie fucking numbers, bro.
Those are rookie numbers.
Want to know who number
if Cap is putting together his 3 greatest matches of all time, number 1, I have to conglomerate. I have to conglomerate the trilogy of Flair and Steamboat as my number 1. Number 2 would be Austin versus Hitman at WrestleMania 13. And my number 3 would be the original Iron Man match of Brett versus Shawn, which to this day I still catch so much flack over. But to me, that is a top 3 match of all time.
So Cap, with you giving me that list, I'm gonna look you dead in the eyes and tell you
you're wrong.
That all 5 of those matches are still not as good combined as Sabre versus Danielson.
Have you been masturbating longer than I have?
Maybe.
If we're putting it
As
hours,
frequently or as long.
I was about to say to not pull too much of the curtain behind. Do you do it like 8 times a day?
You do it like 20 or did or whatever.
Oh, buddy, when I had more time, there was a lot more things in my hand than just time.
Cap, have you ever heard of Destroy Dick December?
No, I have not, but do please elaborate. We've gone off the rails at this point. Please, what is Destroy Dick December?
Hold on, but before you get into that, at least we got through all of week 5 before we started talking about dicks.
Thank God we accomplished something.
So you've heard of No Nut November, correct?
I've heard of No Shave November, but No Nut November.
Okay,
it's
people
trying to take celibacy for the month of November like a bunch of fucking idiots.
And then those same people that do No Nut November do Destroy Dick December.
Where they try to masturbate every day of December.
For the amount of times within the day. So if you get to like December 28th, you're jerking off 28 times in that day. and it just keeps racking up.
Mind you, unfortunately, this comes with our generation. Like mine and
Unfortunately.
Evan's generation. And
Unfortunately, I've been working my ass off and earning a living and, setting up real estate investments and retirement. And I barely have time to whack it more than a few times a week. And now that I actually live with my partner, I don't even have to whack it that much.
Bro, my libido is way too high.
Matt's just fucking walls at this point, watching Zack Sabre versus Bryan Danielson just to get the same feeling.
And
that's what I'm saying, Matt. You got to get that Blue Chew that Blue Chew subscription going. You got to.
No, he's gonna give himself a fucking heart attack.
I was about to say, what? Hold on. What was that? What's that thing that they say in like Viagra commercials where they're like, if you have an erection longer than 4 hours, you should consult your doctor or your assistant.
Yes.
No. If I have an erection longer than 4 hours, I'm using that goddamn thing to the fullest extent of the law.
Don't go to jail.
Eddie Kingston, after his match.
Thank you, David.
By the way,
blinding segue.
He goes up the ramp over to the announce booth, grabs the headset. Don't be a fucking idiot tonight and watch Dynamite.
But you know what? The promotion that both brands have been doing just to get ratings, I sincerely want both AEW and NXT tonight to at least do 1 million.
Yes, so would I.
Well, with Taker coming on, NXT is going to do 1 million. That's not even a question.
But no. I don't just want NXT to do 1 million, dude. I want both brands to do 1 million for one reason. Because it shows that professional. Well,
that's the problem, I think, is Taker, his appearance alone, considering how few and far between they are.
Not to mention Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Paul Heyman, Asuka.
Which, by the way, Paul Heyman continues to be. I've always said the greatest managers of all time in pro, because I'm not a performer. I'm a booker. I'm a manager. I've always said Bobby Heenan, Jim Cornette, Paul Heyman. With the work Paul Heyman has been doing over the last few years, especially here, I might be moving Heyman up Corny, and I never thought I would say that.
I have Heyman as my number one.
I have
nobody's better than Bobby Heenan.
I have
trust me.
I have Silver Fox Heyman at number one manager of all time because he now has the balls to just let it go full silver.
Number one, there's no better manager in the history of professional wrestling than Bobby Heenan. Any manager will tell you Bobby is number one. Bobby Heenan is number one. Heyman may now be my number two. And I never thought anyone would pass Cornette for number two. I didn't think I'd ever see that or say that, but I think Heyman may now be my number two all time above Corny. As far as managers, bookers, Heyman is so goddamn phenomenal. It blows my mind.
All right, so we do have like 40 minutes before we have to go off air. So, we did go through MLB playoffs, right? Like what the standings
are. With the playoffs, we have two big things to discuss still.
Okay.
Number one are the two big clashes in our fantasy football league this week.
Which is these two gentlemen over to my left. And down below, Devin faces the loudmouth of our fantasy league, John Rice.
I invited John onto this program to speak. He declined. So therefore, I will allow Dev to speak his piece.
Wait. Hold on. John was too weak to come on to shoot the shit with our resident little brother?
He would not come on. He said his record speaks for itself. He is going to win.
And in that fact, Devin's record speaks for itself.
I was the last undefeated one.
He refused to fight you, so since he is not here, Dev, since you two are the two best records in our league, he refused to come on. Dev, the floor is yours.
No, if that's what he wants to say, then I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let our team speak for themselves.
Okay. Well, I'll jump over to Davey, going to be going up against our captain.
Both 3-2 and now leading point scorer in the entire fucking league.
Promo battle.
This is going to be a very close matchup. And the commentary that will go back and forth on Sunday for this matchup between me and Captain could be quite epic as far as the game updates go. So very much looking forward to this one to see if the captain is as good as the captain thinks he is.
And now, with that being cut, let us jump over to the captain.
Bless you.
Bless you, Sky.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am no stranger to this podium. I have been involved in more big-time competitions than any man on this present stage, apart from maybe my competitor this week. But I will say this. You are in for the absolute fantasy football fight of life, because I'm going to be coming at you tooth, nail, claw, scrap with everything I have, because as much as I love and respect you, winning this game this week is going to be one of the more important contests of my fantasy football life. Now, while I do agree with you, this is going to be an exceptionally competitive contest. We're not going to know the true outcome of this thing until we meet back here next Tuesday, because my quarterback plays on Monday Night Football. So he will not know the true outcome of this contest for a week from now.
Which is
I know Dave.
Devin's game was settled on Thursday.
Yep.
I know Dave is going to bring everything
First
he
game of the week.
has. I'm going to bring everything I got. But unlike the competition that we are about to discuss next, where it is more of a blood sport, I know at the end of next week there will be no ill will, there will be no rancor, there will be no hostility. It will still be two of the finest minds in the business doing what they do. And for some reason I go down and lose to Davey, it will not be sad. It will not be an insult. It will just be a matter of me losing to the better man.
All right. And exit solo layout. We are back.
And where you have such an affinity for Mr. Paul Heyman, if you do happen to lose this matchup, this will be referenced at about the same clip as the one Undertaker loss by the Beast Brock Lesnar. The one
That's former Minnesota
21,
Viking to you.
the one in 21-1. I mean, that's what I'll change my name to.
What, the 1 in 21-1?
No, that won't fit. Something Brock related.
I'm coming. I'm going to come hard. I'm going to come fast.
Is that how you propose to Elora?
Oh,
Nice shirt,
I'm
wants some
not
fun?
coming fast.
slight change on the card. The captain's favorite gentleman, Mr. Moxley, has not been cleared for this evening's festivities.
Then why the fuck would they promote it for Title Tuesday, man?
Well, he did have a concussion. He probably just...
I can understand that, but I feel like they just promoted it so they could try to counter program NXT a little bit.
So
Well-
Ray Phoenix will now be defending his international title against Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy's picking this fucking belt back up, isn't it?
He could.
No. They're probably going to have Cassidy lose and have Moxley win it back.
He could.
If for whatever reason
Because
Moxley is experiencing
Well-
severe concussion
yeah, those symptoms do linger.
symptoms,
They're not, yeah, it's not a.
um,
Is your arm healed yet? No.
as much as I despise John Moxley being in the professional wrestling
Dude,
business,
it's like we said on
And
Sunday.
I
You don't
do-
wish injuries on anybody.
I do not wish him any physical or mental ill will. I hope he recovers.
Yeah, dude has a little girl, man.
And
Nah, fucking
been-
way.
if you've been watching Hook, who has a belt, and Orange, who does not, Orange has been saying how much he loves Hook's belt. I wish I had a belt. So after tonight, he may have his wish. So they did plant the seeds for this as a possibility, as subtle as they were.
Fair.
I love Hook, and I'm happy to see him doing just about. I love me some Hook.
And if it goes back to Mr. Cassidy and Mox getting his rematch, then we know they can deliver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Much as
Well, I would prefer to not. I would prefer to not, watch anything that Mr. Moxley is involved in, because after the whole debacle with Bryan Danielson about a year ago at Grand Slam, the tennis show, whatever the fuck it is they do. When they put him over Danielson, that pretty much put the kibosh in my mind
Danielson
that
does not
Tony Khan
want-
can book anything.
Danielson does not want the belt. He stated that. Does not want it.
yeah, Danielson
that's-
is outright
It's-
win. He doesn't.
In
he
that
doesn't need
particular
it.
instance,
That's
it's not a
not-
matter of do you not want it. It's I am putting this on you because there is no fucking way in hell I'm putting it on this guy.
Would you rather have
You
seen?
can you can drop it to someone whom you choose, whom you
Would
think
you-
is better, but I am not putting the belt on this schmuck.
would you-
Hold on,
would
hold
you-
on, Davey.
Would you rather
Cap
have
actually
seen John or Danielson do what he's doing now from then on, which was put over MJF, Starks, probably Swerve tonight,
Well,
or have a
here-
really short run with a belt?
no. Here's the thing, Davey. Here's the thing. Because I do see Cap wanting Danielson to hold it to drop it to someone else.
Yeah.
Who is the one person that just got a belt that everybody was shitting on the fact that he got this specific belt? Ricky Starks.
You're going to have to be a little bit more specific.
Ricky Starks winning the tag titles.
I had no problem with that.
I know you.
I didn't. I thought everybody pretty much thought that was
That-
appropriate.
if you
Maybe not the right time, right place, but
If you look
considering the FTR injury situation,
Yes.
I didn't really have a problem with it.
If you looked at the greater scope of like the wrestling fandom, a lot of them saw it as confusing. Why would you do that? What about Danielson winning? Ricky Starks just elevating himself again, seeing that Danielson's somebody that he lost to twice. Rubber match for the belt, and Ricky Starks becomes two straps Starks.
Hey, anytime Bryan Danielson is working in a professional wrestling ring, I'd be one of the happiest men on planet Earth. Maybe not the
And-
happiest Matty. We know how happy Matty gets when Danielson works against certain people.
But imagine, bro. Imagine that Ricky Starks, with the current gimmick that he's running with, where he's just going full-blown egotistical heel. Him with two titles makes him one of the most talked about, loud-mouthed people that they've got. And he's got a fucking 7-foot monster in Big Bill behind him.
I just want to reiterate what I've said in the past. is continuing to prove my point and being the Dolph Ziggler of AEW and can fit in any position they put him in.
Very good point.
The way they're doing Bill with this, he's not just the big silent guy, right? They're letting him talk. They're giving him promos. Like,
and he can talk.
I've
Yeah.
loved me a good old Big Will, Big Kaz XL. I've loved him since NXT.
And first up, the aforementioned Danielson and Swerve for the 30-minute commercial free.
So that match is probably going 20-something minutes.
Yeah, like that'll get as close to those 30 minutes as you can.
28 and a half.
Before we look ahead to week's NFL matchups, in 8 days, it will be the rematch of the century.
Yes,
it will be Jimmy Bebe versus the Cap in the fantasy booking climactic event that has never been seen before.
Has he confirmed his judge yet?
Oh, I'm getting there, Dev. I'm getting there. Jimmy Bebe, I hope you're listening to this. I went to Nick. He asked me, what event are you booking? I said, give 24 hours. And within 24 hours, I had an answer. Because of your lack of interest or preparation, you end up having to book the same event that I'm booking. You still have not announced whom you were nominating on the panel. My initial choice, scheduling conflict, I could not make it. And within 24 hours, I had my replacement, which for those who are fans of the Crew Day, Cap is proud to announce that his nominee to the judging panel for the Fantasy Booking Contest of the Century will be none other than Remy. I do not know this man. I have only seen him perform on camera once, but it told me enough that this guy knows what he's talking about, and I can put him on the panel, and he will be a fair and impartial person. What are you doing, Jimmy? Tidy got to work that night? You can't put your boy in, so you're trying to find someone? Jimmy, I can guarantee you this, my friend. In 8 days, you and I are going to go head to head in the greatest fantasy booking competition that has ever been held. And if for some reason you're able to find someone to be in your corner, it's not going to matter. Because just like I whipped your ass a year ago, I'm going to whip your ass again. Because you do not understand, know, are capable of booking, conceiving, simulating, choreographing, or understanding professional wrestling in any way, shape, or form. Cap is going to hand you your ass on a platter. And this time, there's not going to be an Alex to save you. There's not going to be puppeteers behind the scenes handing you a fictional championship. It's going to be you going down on your knees, groveling, whimpering, and sobbing. Because after all this time, you're going to finally find out who the true best booker in the business is. There's not going to be a lucha mask. There's not going to be a curtain. There's not going to be a trivia contest. There's not going to be anything for you to hide behind. You're going to have to face the panel just like me. And you know what? I'm not afraid to face the panel because I am better than you and know it. Bring it, Jimmy. I am taking your ass down to Chinatown, and I am taking no prisoners. You will see what it means to book professional wrestling. And I wish you the absolute best of luck, the same as I would wish the best of luck to the person who has to balm me when I croak, which is to say, I wish you none. I'll see you in a week, Jimmy Bay. And I hope and I pray for the sake of our show that you have prepared far more, it seems, that you presently have. Last time, you probably did. This time, I think you're taking it a little too lightly. Big mistake. I'm coming for my dues, Jimmy. I'll see you in 8 days.
And like Cap said, this is without a shadow of a doubt the booking match of the century. Like, this has been something that's built up so long. We've been building this for so long. I cannot wait for this to happen. And
Yeah,
the
it was about a
fact
year
that
ago, the last one, wasn't it?
and the fact that Cap brought in one of the members of the Crew Day, which is a subsidiary of the RAWBall podcast, I cannot be happier.
I just want to say to lighten up the mood on my end. At a certain point, Cap broke up when he said, "I'm coming,"
I'm coming.
and I just heard "I'm coming" for a split second, and then the other words started to flow in, and I almost broke.
Is this matchup on a Tuesday?
Wednesday, October
Come Tuesday.
18th.
Come Tuesday.
Come Tuesday.
Come Monday, I'll be doing all right. Come Monday,
We have
I'll be holding you tight.
we have just about 15 to 19 minutes. Let's run through real quick. Week 6 of the NFL.
Broncos at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
We're gonna be here live on
Chiefs.
Thursday for that, aren't we, Davey?
Chiefs.
I've bet my forehead on the Broncos.
Patriots at Raiders.
Raiders.
It'd totally
Raiders.
be a Bill Belichick thing to make you look like shit, so I'm gonna go Patriots.
Patriots.
We're a fucking mess, man. Raiders.
Ravens
Oh, the
at
Raiders.
Titans.
Ravens.
If you guys lose to the fucking Titans, Devin, I have no idea what the fuck the Ravens are.
And you know what sucks? I'm going up against John, and I have Derrick Henry going up against my Ravens, and I have Lamar Jackson. And
Devin
my
is
boys
literally sitting here just going, I hope they both have fun.
I do too. I want this to be
I
a good
hope we
game.
both have fun, homie.
As long as they have fun, that's the main thing. I'm going Tennessee in this one.
I'm taking Baltimore.
I'm going Baltimore just off of the basis that Tennessee has no offensive line.
Yeah,
Commies at Falcons.
What was that?
Falcons.
Commies at Falcons?
Commies at Falcons.
Okay, I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders.
Commanders. Vikings at Bears.
Bears.
I think I'm going Vikings.
I'm taking Vikings big.
I'm going to go Bears on this one. They're both out a couple of key cogs. Bears are out Herbert, but Minnesota's missing Jefferson. I think that's really going to fuck things up there for them.
Seahawks at Bengals.
Bengals.
Seattle.
Bengals.
Seattle.
Kenneth.
All right, so we're tied there. 49ers at Browns.
49ers.
49ers.
49ers. All right, that's pretty even there. Panthers at Dolphins.
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 I'm going Dolphins. As much as I hate them now.
Colts at Jaguars.
Jaguars. Colts don't have
Jags.
Richardson.
I'm taking Jags in that one as well.
Matt.
Saints at Texans.
Mine's the Jaguars.
Saints at Texans?
Texans.
I think I have to go Houston.
I'm going
I'm taking
Saints.
I'm taking Houston as well.
Devin's going New Orleans.
All right. Now we're into the afternoon slate. Cardinals at Rams.
Cardinals.
Rams.
Rams.
Cardinals.
Oh, we have a split. Eagles at Jets.
Eagles.
Eagles.
It's the Eagles.
Lions at Buccaneers.
Lions.
Detroit.
Detroit.
I'm going Detroit, but closer than the experts think.
Oh,
I would agree.
It's going to be a stupid close game, but
Sunday night, Giants at Bills.
Bills. By a
Bills.
It's probably be a shutout.
it won't be a shutout. But it's the
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah.
Who
but-
does the Giants have at quarterback?
Doesn't matter.
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. But I can tell you that for some reason, something tells me this is going to be a stupid close game, and it has no right being a stupid close game.
I'm taking in that one. I'm taking the Bills, but I don't even think it's going to be close. Monday Night Football: Cowboys at Chargers.
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 Yeah, Chargers.
Chargers bigger than the line suggests, and it's not just because I have Justin Herbie
What does
Hancock.
What does the line suggest? What is it saying?
Dallas -2.
Well, Dak Prescott or Cooper Kush or Trey Lance, regardless, it being a 2 spread is stupid.
Line is Dallas -2.
That's dumb, bro. What are these Vegas people doing?
Let's see. Philadelphia is favored by 7 over the Jets. Rams 7. I'm trying to see what the most outrageous line is. Dolphins are favored by 14 over Carolina.
Okay, so
Agree.
I was about to say that's crazy because the Chiefs are only 10 over.
What's the Baltimore one?
Baltimore
Yeah.
line is where is Baltimore? I just saw him here. It is Baltimore -4.
Okay, so we're set to lose to the Titans.
No. That means
-4 means you're favored by 4.
you guys are favored
Oh.
by 4. It's 4 points. So that means that you guys have to at least cover 4 points or more for
Yeah.
someone to bet the spread to win money.
Okay.
Chiefs are favored by 10.5 over Denver, which I am not a part of the crew day, but I will be tuning into that just to watch Matthew squirm.
What's your Raiders looking like against New England?
Vicious Vegas -3.
-3?
Which I think is an insult to New England because the Raiders are putrid shit.
No. We deserve all the insults.
We deserve all the insults.
All of them.
This is actually a pretty interesting contest. Davey and I hate both of our teams. Neither one of us think either one of our teams are worth a shit. So
And then they have their fantasy against each other, which is even better.
our two teams are playing each other, and we're playing each other in fantasy. Could
I got
the
Ramondre Stevenson in the league that I won last year, and I can't get rid of the fucker. No one.
I managed to, because Cap's a hell of a negotiator. In the RAWBall, let's go through since we got about 10 minutes before Cap has to sign off. So we've got Cap's Raiders versus John Moxley's Head, which I'm guessing that name is going to change at some point.
Yeah.
We have the Westford Virgins against the Rogers Ayahuasca Dolphin fucking tape recording fucking retirement whatever. Maddie, if you don't fucking eat Jacob Berry, I'm gonna fly to Denver and slap you. He's 1-4.
Dude, if I lose, I'm gonna be very upset.
I'm sure you start Austin Eckler if he actually plays. Just a little bit of advice.
I think I'm the only one that beat the West Fork Virgins.
No, they're in 4. They haven't beat hardly anybody.
Yeah, the West Fork Virgins only have 1 win.
Oh,
You
I
got
thought I
Logan
heard
Johnson.
4-1.
We've got Logan Johnson against Team Deech in a battle of
A battle of my coworkers.
yeah. We've got the Nashville Football Club versus Whole Ass Grown Men, which is the
Possibly the game of the week.
That is game of the week based on record because both teams are 4-1. That's going to emerge from this thing 5-1 and in the driver's seat going forward.
I sure as fuck am not going to be the one 4-2. That's for sure.
Well, we'll see how that one goes. We got the Dallas Doormats against Pet Spade and Neutered. Both teams are 3-2. Both teams are in the AFC, so another big divisional matchup. El Chico versus Loud and Stroud, 2-3 versus 3-2. Another interesting contest there. Then we've got Grey's Anatomy versus Big Poppy Caesar, a 3-2 versus a 1-4. Caesar not so good at the fantasies, as Davey would say.
Not so good at fantasies.
Every time I see him, I ask him what happened.
Well, look at the present standings in the RAWBall League because we still got about 9 minutes here. Let's look at the NFC. We've got the Nashville Football Club and Whole Ass Grown Men tied at 4-1. Although when we look at points forced, they have a slight edge on you.
I know.
Loud and Stroud at 3-2. Maddie at 2-3 because Maddie can't figure out who the fuck to start on a weekly basis.
I got my shit adjusted.
We got Deech and Kiko at 2-3 as well, and Logan Johnson at 1-4, the team that Cap survived last week. Then we've got the AFC where it is a 3-way tie presently for first place between Cap, Pet Spade and Neutered, and John Moxley's Head. I never thought in my whole life I would ever say that, but it is a 3-way tie for first place in the AFC. Actually, no, Dallas Doormats are 3-2, so we've got a 4-way tie for first place. Before looking at points forced, Cap obviously is number 1 because Cap has scored more points than anybody this year. But yeah, he's 3-2. And then the bottom dwellers, we've got it's a 5-way. Jesus Christ! Then we got Virgins and Poppy. We have in the AFC 5 teams are 3-2.
Damn.
Yet Cap has forced more points than anybody in the entire league this season.
This sure as fuck's been an interesting season.
It's been an interesting.
Oh, and it's going to get more interesting after this week. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
We have 14 regular season games, and the playoffs start week 15, 16, and 17 is the Super Bowl. But this is going to be a pretty interesting week because we've got 2 phenomenal matchups between 2 rivals and 2 gentlemen disagreeers. I know Dev wants to pound the shit out of John. Davey, I want to beat your ass, but if I lose, I'm not going to be a sour ass about it.
Whoa. Phrasing.
Easy, Archer.
But yeah, no, we've got about 7 minutes left, so I feel like now's a good time to start going through our plugs. As soon as you guys tune out of this, stay on the RAWBall podcast because Davey and Remy of Crew Day will be covering the Tuesday night fights, as I'm calling it tonight.
There used to actually be a show on USA that used to have boxing on Tuesday
Yeah, I was
nights.
gonna say, and then what was the football show? Friday Night Lights.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, on USA back in the early to mid '90s, it was Tuesday Night Fights boxing.
And first match is in the books on Dynamite.
Who won?
Swerve and Danielson were your first matchup, and your winner facing Christian Cage this Saturday on Collision for the TNT title, Bryan Danielson.
Fuck.
With
Devin doing the swerve over there.
with a little assist from Hangman Page.
Oh, the hanger.
Yep.
Damn it.
In a bit of a different attire, black leather jacket. I don't know if that subtlety is hinting at something or not.
Like no tassels?
No, it's a black leather jacket.
Just a black leather jacket.
Very
Going more
reminiscent-
outlawish than
Very-
cowboy?
I don't know about that, Devin. Outlaw would be a good word for it.
Yeah. So something brewing there, but this will continue the Hangman Swerve angle, which is not necessarily a bad thing because they were cooking.
No,
So-
not by any stretch.
So
of the imagination.
they extend that a little bit. I'm fine with that. So Captain may get his wish of Danielson holding a belt.
and then dropping it
because-
immediately to someone. Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of Cap, he just dropped
Because-
out. He should either be back real quick or
Or that's
we'll
That's-
sign off for Cap if he hops back in within the next 5 minutes. If not, then we'll sign off for him. But
'Cause this-
yeah, no,
This Christian Edge Adam feud impending does not require a belt.
no.
No, does
not
not.
at all. I think it'd be better without the belt involved.
Well,
All right, D, what do you have to plug, if anything?
Jack shit.
Okay.
Eventually, I do want to try to get in the talks with Remy and possibly do like a gaming side of some RAWBall.
Well, we could
We'll
definitely
see.
get something worked out. You guys are both gamers and shit, but
internet crapped out. I'll check in on crew day to say hello to Remy.
so yeah,
and
we will. I will sign off for Cap as well. But yeah, no. Stay tuned on the RAWBall podcast because our good friend of Crew Day, Remy, is currently on the channel right now. Davey will be joining him in just a fair few amount of minutes.
Yep.
Tune into me here on the Greg Cherry brand Crew Day. Sundays we do football. There's no pay-per-view this weekend, is there, Davey?
Not necessarily.
No.
We got
Good.
Collision
good.
on Saturday. Royal Quest, New Japan. That has
Well,
Ospreay.
Well, I
Sabre
can watch.
Jr.
I can watch. I can watch Royal Quest on my own, but
That's Saturday.
You're gonna have to, alone in a dark room with a bottle of Germans.
Yeah, but Sunday,
uh,
no. There's nothing on the go for Sunday pay per view.
okay. So yeah, we got 4 shows this week where you'll see my face. Stay tuned on the channel. Catch Davey and Remy as they cover Dynamite and NXT. And
Yeah, I got one on now, but I got the other one on pause, so I can catch up on that pretty quick, I would assume.
And yeah, no. With all that being said, we will be back here on Thursday with the Crew Day.
Crew Day.
Crew Day. And
Depending on what happens, Maddie will be bloody on Sunday.
I was about to say it might be a bloody Sunday for Maddie.
Watch as we're gonna have to go to the hospital because you lost too much blood.
There's no such thing. Off of kebab skewers? Are you kidding me? No.
We'll see.
Anywho, but yes, this is Maddie Laws of the RAWBall podcast on behalf of Cap, on behalf of D, on behalf of Davey. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. We love you
Don't
all.
get arrested.
Don't get
Don't
arrested.
Get arrested.
And ball out with the RAWBall podcast. Stay tuned. Hop over to the next stream because Remy and Davey are going to be going for the next 2 hours or so. So Thank you all for tuning into the RAWBall podcast, week 31, a week 5 to forget. We'll be back when you see us.
And I will see you in a few moments.
Exactly.